going on, everybody? It's your girl, renae. You know, I always have something to say. It's the one and only Trend Talk CEO, and he's the Trend CEO, Elliot Guidry. And this is Trend Talk, y'all. We got a special guest in the building. I'm talking about, the boy been making so many moves that you just be like, so you ain't let me know? Y'all get up for the one and only Derrick. Derrick!
I like that. I you just had that 24/7, man. That's just like should be just my. I walk into a room and like, wow. That's
hey man, every superhero needs their entrance.
Ah man, whew. Like,
man, brother, how are you feeling, my man?
Man, I'm tired, but you know, I'm good. I'm excited about this weekend. I'm proud of this weekend. I'm loving this weekend, but you know, just physically, yeah, it's exhausting. It's a lot of running around this past month, actually, 2 months, really.
You have been on the move, man. Let's talk about obviously the Loud Fest.
Yes.
When is the idea for the Loud Fest? When did you come up with this idea for it? I think this is like your second one, isn't it?
It's the fourth one.
Fourth one, okay.
Fourth one. So when Free Press Summerfest was going on, I used to bug the hell out of them, trying to get, can we get an opening act? Can we get can we just play music in between the changeovers? Can we get a side stage over here? And it was like, they wouldn't even respect enough to even return a phone call. They wouldn't respond to an email. They wouldn't even like respond to a social media, just completely blocked it out and ignored it. Whoa. So I said, screw it, I'll build my own. And we did the first one at Fox Hollow 4 years ago. Okay. And we did 100 artists, started all day long. And it was exhausting. It was horrible. It was great. It was sad. It was hilarious. It was everything you could think of. But it let me know we were on to something because how many artists really enjoyed it. Yep. So we did it again the next year. We did like 400 people. Then the third year, we took it over to Ravens Tower at White Oak, 4,800 people. Wow. Like, oh, okay. And so that led us to this year. Obviously, pre-COVID, we had it planned for 2 days. Wildcatter Saloon, 5,000 people a day, bringing tons of people, the artists, everything, man. And so, unfortunately, COVID, we had to make some adjustments in our capacity.
Right.
But really, other than that, that's the only thing I changed.
How did you make your adjustments?
So we cut our capacity from 5,000 people a day to 800 a day.
Okay.
And financially, that's an amazing cut. But we made the collective decision to not dial back the festival.
Right.
So we didn't say, okay, now since we're going to lose money, so now let's cut back here, let's cut back there. Let's not bring zero. Let's not book flip. Let's not do this. We said, no, we're going to give everybody exactly what they would have got at 5,000 people or 500 people. And it was kind of like we tell artists, if it's one person in the crowd or 1,000, you still got to give it your all.
Absolutely.
So I had to look in the mirror and say, hey, if you're going to have 5,000 in the crowd or 500, are you going to give them your all? And that's what we did, man. So we've been able to build this festival, really create something that independents can be proud of. And we're here.
Man, the credible thing that I have enjoyed about watching you work is your consistency and elevation. One thing that you've been doing has been all the things that you've been doing as far as putting in the work. You know, I remember early, as you can probably tell it, that you was working with Tim Ned and just talking about the levels and how you are going to advance in the things that you're doing. Of course, you know, you got the festival happening, but this all spawned from Loud Music. Let's dive into you creating Loud Music.
Okay. It's an independent record company. Loud stands for Live Out Your Dreams. And the biggest misconception with an independent label, people assume it's local. And we've made a very good effort in not being local. You know, we've toured the world, literally Japan, England, the Netherlands, Iceland. We've toured the country. We did a 19-city tour with Ja Rule. We've done our own shows around the country. And of course, we've done what everything we needed to do here at home. We have Tim Ned as our featured artist and producer. We have Cody Blake. We have Chelsea Simone and Skyra Bliss, but also we manage Zero. So we've been able to collectively create a group of talent that nobody is the same. Each and every one of them is their own individual artist, their own individual lane, their own individual brand. And we've been able to cultivate those individual brands to where they stand alone, but we wanted to be consistent in our approach, meaning for example, with Bad Boy, Biggie didn't sound like Carl Thomas didn't sound like 112 didn't sound like Faith didn't sound like Mace. But you saw the consistent brand and marketing and the look and the imaging throughout. So it was associated with a certain level of quality. And that's what we wanted to make sure we maintain with everything that we do with our artists. Oh,
I
think you're muted, Elliot.
Wait, what?
Elliot, he's talking, but I can't hear him.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you now.
Okay, there we go. That's all I need. All right, no, I was saying so it's safe to say that you have adapted the formula that Puff has utilized for Bad Boy.
So I took some of Bad Boy. I took a lot of Interscope. Okay. I took a whole lot of Motown. I took even more of Clive Davis, and I've probably read close to 40. I think it's like 42 music business books, strictly just on the executives over the past 50 years. And so I've made it a point to just kind of study and see what worked, what didn't work, and I've just really just been trying to figure out how to carve out our niche in history.
Got you.
Okay. Talk about the process of actually selecting these artists for the fest, because like you said, you had 100, you have all these people, and there's so many artists around, period. How do you go through and select, like, okay, so they're going to start here, they're going to, we're going to have them enter here, and then like, we're not going to have you this show, but we can have you next one. So
what we did was we partnered with a couple of outlets like Reverb Nation, Sonic Bids, Disc Makers, Merchly, a few of the national or global brands that are DIY services for indie artists, and put the word out. And we had over 6,000 artists submit for Loudfest. And it was really simple to narrow down our the last 300 or 400, because the criteria was, for one, you had to have original music. It had to be released on a major digital platform, and I'm not even just saying just on SoundCloud. It has to be on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, YouTube. You had to have an electronic press kit. You had to have high resolution photos. You had to be registered with BMI or ASCAP. You also had to have a clean version to your song. So by the time we went through the checklist, a lot of the artists weeded themselves out.
That happens. It
happens more often than not.
Man, what would you suggest to those guys that had to get weaved out? Or like, what is a better method for them to utilize to get that kind of stuff done? Because you don't hear your everyday artists talk about your ASCAP or your BMI licensing or things like that. So
what we did was, when they were weeded out, we gave them the resources to get it fixed.
Nice.
So every artist that did not get selected to perform, they still get all the artist access credentials. They still get to do all the media interviews. They still get the discounts with Vertigo, Nerve DJs, musicsupervisor.com, artistauditions.com, the Icon Live app with Ja Rule. They still get all of those things. And that's what I did that on purpose, to set us apart. An artist can submit for South by Southwest, and if you don't get selected, you don't get selected.
Yeah, you just kind of move on to the next thing.
And for us, we was like, okay, if you don't get selected, I still want you to come to the event. I still want you to make all of these things happen to get better. We partner with Sonic Bids because they do free EPKs. So if you didn't have an EPK, you can go to Sonic Bids and get one. You know what I'm saying? If you
Nice.
don't have your music on or one of the major platforms, okay, you can go to Reverb Nation or TuneCore and get it done and get on iTunes and Spotify 24 hours. So I know that there's about 2,300 artists who were not prepared, that did not get selected, that we in turn made sure they got their business handled and moving in the right direction.
That is dope. That is, I mean, that alone for an artist, not only just submitting to be a part of the festival, but submitting to be a part of the festival and then receiving the information on how to handle your own independent business.
Yeah. Hey man, it's one of the things where and I've been saying this for years, that I don't have to win. You don't have to lose in order for me to win.
Indeed.
That's
been your methodology since as long as I've known you.
That and the only way Houston will ever truly evolve into the music mecca that I believe that's here. It's here. Houston is like the 6-pack on a fat guy. We know it's under there. We just got to lose the weight. I'm speaking for myself.
Hey,
I just got to lose the weight. I know it's there. I know it's there. And that's Houston, man. I know the music mecca is here because I've discovered some, the level of talent that I have found through this process that nobody in the city has ever heard of. And I'm not even just talking about urban music.
I'm getting with you offline.
But here's the thing, though. They don't have there's no outlet for them. Where does the EDM DJ in Houston go to become a national star? Where does the country and Western artist in Houston go to become a national star? Where does the indie rock band go to become a national star at home in Houston? And we've discovered so many of them. But saying all that to say, if we create a culture of better businessmen and women, it makes it easier for all of us to maneuver. Absolutely. I won't have to bump my head so many times working with people if I'm working amongst a group of people who understand what we're trying to accomplish.
Absolutely. One sound body, one sound mind, one movement.
And that's how we have to be. And we have to be that way, not just at a surface level. We actually got to really buy into our own ideologies of being one. Everybody want to rep H-Town, but you can't say you rep H-Town, but you really are for self. You know, if I'm saying like the reason why I wanted to make sure that every single year we ever do Loudfest, a Houston artist will be the headliner. I don't care who it is, a Houston artist will be the headliner because I'm tired of everybody doing stuff here and turning this into Atlanta, turning Houston into LA, turning Houston into New York, turning Houston into Miami. And our consumers get so caught up in, and it's like we're too loving. We embrace everybody.
Yeah. No, I mean, that is a part of that Southern hospitality that we have. And that's not
they don't have that type of Southern hospitality in Dallas.
I'll be honest. I don't know the Southern hospitality, but anywhere else, they literally don't have it.
well, Houston. I mean, and I can speak obviously because I've been here 37 years of my life. Last I checked, I just turned 37. But
happy birthday!
Oh! No. It was in August. You're late. You're late. But I say that to say the unique thing about Houston is, yes, we do embrace, we do love, and we show love. And without even expecting a lot of that back. You know what I mean?
That's the problem. That's the problem. And that's what we do. That's what we have to get away from, man. It's perfectly fine for us to be selfish with our culture.
No,
we don't have to embrace
absolutely.
Everybody. We don't have to be so cool and so down. And because like right now, it's a lot of major artists that live in Houston. Young Thug has a house here. Lil Baby been living out here. Gunna been living out here.
The cost of living out here is incredible, and they see it and they're like, "Oh, wait,
okay,
but how much?"
But here's my issue, though. Here's my issue. How many new artists out here got Young Thug as a feature?
Oh, zip.
That's the issue. You can't do that in Atlanta. You can't do it in Miami. You can't do it in Detroit. You can't do it in LA.
You know, the old guard is no longer the guard like it used to be. It's not. It's like we are allowing things to move. You know, and that was, I mean, and that was that Rap-A-Lot chain. You came into the city, check in. And not saying that kind of stuff doesn't happen, but it's not a part of the mold to turn around and say, hey, you know, this artist is, you know, looking to come up. You're out here in the city, reach out to him.
So it's like you have an artist, and not picking on Young Thug, because I'm a huge Thug fan.
Yeah, I'm not picking on any of these guys. Just
I'm using them as a reference.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll pay him to come to the clubs, comp him at damn near every restaurant, give him all the free bottles, everything, everywhere he goes.
Mm-hmm.
What does he give back to here?
That I don't know, and I couldn't speak on it because I don't know.
And the way he should give back is, these are the next 2-3 little hot dudes y'all got coming out the city. I'm gonna do his hook. I'm gonna do a verse. I'm gonna appear in that video.
And that's all. I mean, that's really all a person would have to do, and something that comes so easy to an artist like creating, you wouldn't think would be such a hassle.
But we never get that. I remember ASAP Rocky when he first got his deal with Purple Drink. I was pissed. I was livid.
Of course.
Because I'm like, man, at the time he got his deal, they were turning Houston artists down, saying, you know, the whole Screwed and Chopped movement is over. We're not really feeling that. We don't think the major labels wouldn't touch it. But you wouldn't have signed the East Coast cat doing exactly what we created, but we're not good enough for it.
With the single called Everything Is Purple.
And so, but then ASAP Rocky comes to town, and everybody in Houston on stage with him, taking pictures, and everybody.
Oh well, no. That's a different part of the culture that I haven't thoroughly understood yet. That part of the culture is there's a word for it and a phrase for it. I'm not going to utilize it on this format, but we know exactly what it is. And that's something that we have to step away from. We have to step away from, hey, this is the hot person in the room. Let me go stand in a section so I can look dope too. Come on, man. That's
that person, and knowing you can't go to Miami and they ain't gonna open up their doors for you out there like you doing for them out here.
Nah, bro. Yeah, no. Now, to that extent, I thoroughly understand, because you know I've been in these clubs and seen it. I have seen this.
You photographed it. You caught him. You caught him red-handed. You know.
I got documents.
and I've been called the asshole on many occasions, and I done heard that a lot of indie artists and people are like, man, he difficult. He this, he that, and I'm by no means difficult at all. I just
you know how to handle.
I stand firm on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't need anybody else's existence or presence to validate me or what I can do.
Absolutely. And that's something people gotta adapt to their own methodology.
If that makes me a jerk, then that's just so be it. But man, I love what we're doing. I love what we're able to, what Houston can be, and that's why. Everybody, man, move. Man, y'all should be in LA. You should be here. You should be there. Like, why? Why can't I just do what I want to do here?
The fact that you are hearing that, and the fact that you're hearing that, of course, tells you you're in the right direction. But the fact that you are turning around and proving those statements wrong, or not even necessarily wrong, but you're showing them an alternate route that you don't necessarily have to leave. That's proving the pudding alone. I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's
coming into Houston this weekend, starting today. So home team, we got Southwest Digital Distribution that's going to be there doing distribution deals, right? We got artistauditions.com from San Diego. They put together tours for independent artists and DJs to go to Brazil, South Africa, Japan, Europe, everywhere. We have musicsupervisor.com that's based right here. The owner they place about 200 songs a month, and they place them on Netflix films, TV shows, TV commercials, major motion pictures through Warner Brothers and Lionsgate. They're at the festival. We have Create Music Group. If you look at the digital marketing machines that's behind, like a Trippie Redd and a Chance the Rapper and all of these guys, they'll be at the festival. Apple News is coming to the festival.
that's big.
we have a company called Hatari. Hatari is a company that works with alcohol and tobacco brands that can't advertise in traditional spaces. So they sponsor and pay for independent artist music videos.
Wow.
So all of these
for the placement, just to have the placement in the videos?
Just for the placement.
That is bonkers alone.
So if I'm Joe Blow, the artist, rapper, rock artist, or whatever, I can come to this festival and I can get a distribution deal and meet the owner. I can get my video sponsored. I can talk to somebody about touring. I can talk to the people to get my music in a movie or on Insecure or on Luke Cage and all of that good stuff. And then if I can meet with 25 media outlets to do interviews and get my social media stuff going for $40.
So basically, this is in the most effective way to enjoy South by Southwest in one location over a span of how many days you're doing it?
2 days.
2 days. Out here in Houston, you have made South by Southwest in Houston, and you flipped the name and called it Loudfest.
Hey man, but you know what's the craziest thing about it is everybody that's there. So the difference with South by Southwest and a lot A3C and a lot of these things, a lot of these places, they want the money from independents, but the services and companies that are there, they're only there trying to connect with Kendrick and Drake and Travis and J. Cole.
Of course.
The services and companies at Loudfest, they're only there to find the independent. Mm-hmm. So they're not looking for Drake. They're looking for the next Cody Blake. They're looking for the next indie artist that they can utilize their company to get behind.
It's I've been playing the stocks market lately, and you don't buy stocks for what they're going to do tomorrow. You buy them for what they're going to do years hereafter. Yep. Same method with an independent artist. You're not talking to them because they have a single now that's about to pop. You see the talent and you know they're going to have a single in this year span time, or not even the single, the career, more or less.
You know it's coming. Mm-hmm. And so from a selfish standpoint, this has been the ultimate A&R for our record label. So we've created just in from a marketing perspective, I had 6,000 artists in 2020 post, retweet, screenshot, or share something that says Loud Music.
Brother,
that's marketing.
Like
Derrick has been on this marketing tilt, like he's been on this for, like I said, as long as I've known this man. Talking impressions, talking the way you post things, the times you post things, the things you add to it, how you word it, think like even down to those meticulous details. He has been preaching this for the longest. And now is not only has he been preaching it, he's now showing this is what we've been doing. This is what you get.
Yeah. And so right now it's 200 artists coming between, well, it's close to 600, but there are 200 artists that are going to perform between tomorrow, 2 p.m. and Sunday midnight that have all posted or shared my logo, my website, my information on their pages.
Brother, in 2013, how did you see yourself in 2020?
So with the exception of COVID, doing this, but more. And I swear this is by no means any type of arrogance or cockiness or anything like that. If I were to be surprised at what's happening, that would mean I didn't really believe it.
Touche.
I 100% knew, like I knew Loudfest was going to do 5,000 people a year. True story. The past 2 days, I've been on the phone with the city of Katy, the police chief, the fire marshal, the fire chief, the executive assistant to the mayor, and the mayor.
Out in Katy.
Okay. They said this event was the most advertised event and viral event that Katy has seen. They said that they're scared that 100,000 people were going to show up. There were rumors that Drake is coming. They thought Kendrick was coming. That the mayor's office got hundreds of emails concerned about this event.
That's a good problem to have. That's
right.
those. So today I've been discovering new good problems. That is a good problem.
So I knew we were going to do 5,000 people a day. And I only did maybe 30 to 40% of our actual marketing strategy.
All right,
I didn't even launch the full campaign.
We got 10 minutes. I just got the little pop-up.
Okay.
All right. So, oh man. So look, before it kicks us out of here, take us through a real quick walkthrough of what an artist can and should experience at the Loud Fest. Not even an artist, a consumer. I'm coming to enjoy it.
You're going to enjoy some great food. You're going to see a lot of music and see a lot of people. You're going to hear a lot of music. You're going to enjoy just a phenomenal atmosphere. And that's the whole point, is just enjoy the atmosphere. Hang out. Don't have any preconceived notions, no expectations of what somebody should sound like or what they look like. Because we got a brother coming that's playing the bagpipes. I'm sorry, let me plug this in real quick.
Are you good, brother? Bagpipes.
Yeah, bagpipes, bro. It's some eclectic artists coming to entertain us. You should expect to hear the legends like Lil Flip is bringing a throne.
Nice.
We have LED panels on the stage with smoke and lights. Like, we have EDM DJs that are going to play some amazing records.
Man.
You know, there's something for everybody. We have games. We have like life-size open field Scrabble, checkers, and cornhole and Jenga, and we got TJ the Jeweler from Austin that's gonna be doing Golden Diamond Grills. I'm gonna get a bottom grill tomorrow.
Oh wow!
I don't know why. I've never wanted one, but I'm like, yo, they're gonna be doing this at my festival.
Let's do it.
Put me down.
That's support. That's,
you know what I'm saying.
You came through. I'm gonna show some support for it.
And that's what somebody can expect. Some people can expect to have an amazing time, man. And just come out. I think with COVID, everybody been cooped up. We've been locked in for so long. And while we were locked in, we were being fed this overly racist and hateful political climate and dealing with the death of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. But we're doing all of those things while being told, don't go outside. So now we have an opportunity to be outside. But let me say this, and I know we're getting close on time. We have 1,000 masks and gloves that we're giving away. You can't get in without a mask on. You have 10 hand sanitizer stations. We have social distancing signs. We have 100 bottles of hand sanitizer that will be spread throughout the property. We also have, what else do we have there? We partner with Sanitizer USA. They're going to disinfect the entire property at 8 a.m. in the morning. And their formula kills 99.9% of all bacteria and germs and viruses on any surface for 90 days.
I'm gonna just stand in there like this.
So
you answered my last question, because that's been my reason for not going to most events is I don't want to take anything from any of these events and then bring them home, of course, to my family. That has been my biggest concern. So now you have just sold me the Loud Fest in that moment. I'm going. So I look forward to seeing you there, my brother.
Man, I'm glad, bro. I'm glad, man. We purposely cut the capacity down to where it's enough space. Nobody is just shoulder to shoulder. Our DJs are announcing, hey, if you're not eating or drinking, put a mask on, enjoy yourself, have a good time. But we're going to have the constant reminders of telling people, be safe.
Amen.
Amen. It's not that COVID is gone. We're just figuring out how to maneuver and operate and live during this time.
Absolutely.
Right.
But we definitely have a healthy respect for it.
Absolutely.
Definitely. What about the young media interns that are looking to, you said Apple News would be there, different companies that work for these huge corporations. But what if they want to get into the field that you're in? Can they bring like their resume, or can they bring like what? How?
I wouldn't suggest bringing a resume. I would suggest coming in, just making the connection and building a relationship.
Right.
Because it's kind of like, while a DJ is DJing at midnight and he playing everybody's favorite song, he don't want you to stop him and tap him on the shoulder and give you his record.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So while these people are in their work mode, let them be in their work mode the best way. And this is how I've had success. I intertwine what I do into what they do, and I build that genuine relationship and exchange information and contact. And then I can always reach out to them. Hey, pleasure meeting you this weekend. You know, I would like to see some information over you. I'm gonna let you rest on Monday, but Tuesday look for me.
There we go. Real quick before they shut us out, brother, how can folks find tickets to the Loud Fest? How can they find you? How can they find Loud Music? How can they find all the things that you're doing?
Tickets for Loud Fest is at loudfesthtx.com. You can find us at loudmuzik, muzik.com, at Official Loud on Instagram, at Derrick, DerrickMC on Instagram, and at Loudfest TX, Loudfest Texas, just the TX on Instagram as well. We're real easy to find, real easy to talk to. We answer DMs, we respond to emails. Obviously, I've been taking all the damn phone calls that I'm shutting down for a week after this, but we'll make sure we're personable. We make sure that we're easy to contact.
Absolutely, man. We're gonna have to pick up on this after the Loud Fest, after your week
Definitely,
off.
brother. Anytime. You know what
I'm saying? Of course, I've been meaning just to connect with you, if not on anything business wise, just you put yourself around the people that have things going on that put you in the environment that you want to be in. And brother, my God, you have created quite the environment for yourself.
Man, I appreciate that, man. That means a lot, man. I appreciate you guys for even taking the time to talk to me.
Hey, man, we appreciate you coming through. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you showing up on the Trend Talk. You know,
they've been knowing me since I was even on the radio.
Hey, man. Hey. You know what I'm saying? Good things come together when you work in the path that you were set to be on.
If you stay in your lane, you never miss your turn.
Absolutely.
No, you better go ahead, preach. You better.
Hey.
Go ahead.
Already, man. Hey, brother, I'm gonna have to catch up with you on the offline because I feel like I could be able to work with you on some of these things. But
come on, man, let's do it.
Last time, brother, appreciate you coming through on the Trend Talk podcast. J. Renae, take us out.
By air on. But all right, y'all, that was another episode of Trend Talk with the one and only Derrick McKinney. Don't forget to get your tickets, Loudfest HTX, or you can go visit him at Derrick, DerrickMC, right? Online. So we'll catch y'all next week. Y'all, look, if you see us, don't scream our names, but just come up there and be like, hey, don't touch me because it's Corona. Just touch. Everybody stay safe out there. This is Trend Talk, and we out.